from youth and young kids development, from grassroots development, I'm coming to referees. So maybe initially you can get over it, even if you have like so referee. But I'm assuming that at this point in time, you guys would require qualified referees in your league, right?
Referees.
Referees, yes, qualified referees in the league.
No, we already have the referees at the both in Bangalore and Delhi. We always go with the state
Yeah,
association referees because we do not want to compromise on the quality of refereeing, even though that needs a lot of improvement, I would
yes,
say.
I was trying to get there. Yes, I tried to put it in a very polite manner. Yes, so when you have these referees, and especially when it comes to these community leagues, you get a lot of these abuse directed at the referees. They might make mistakes. We see mistakes made at the top leagues in the world as well. So, but once it's the professional level, the players are trained, players, managers, all the coaching staff, they are trained to do the right thing whenever possible. But especially at the grassroots level and community leagues level, no matter how good you might get bad referees as well, but no matter how good they are, just because they cannot keep both the sides happy at the same point in time, they might be coping with a lot of abuse. So how do you or your league handle that kind of situations?
Yeah, so here I would like to say, since we are working with professional referees here, so they are very much fit to handle such situations, right? Part of their training is to handle the game, right? So we've had some incidents, but overall referees have been able to handle the situation really well. Whenever our intervention is required, because we have good relations with all the participating teams. So whenever that is necessary, we do intervene and we stop it there and then.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because I just wanted to ask about, I've got a lot of feedbacks over here in Australia that a lot of these referees don't come back after a few seasons because they cop a lot of abuse, especially when it's community leagues. So I just wanted to ask how things are handled over there.
No, uh, to be very honest, the referees are being posted by a head of referee, right? So
Okay.
every state has a head of referees, and through them you have to get the appointments done for a match day. So if there is anything there, then the report goes to the head of referees, and we discuss with them. We also check videos post match, right? Whenever there is a situation, so we do analyze it deeply, and we find out whose fault it actually was, because sometimes it might be the fault of the referee as well, right? So we do analyze it. So if the player has misbehaved, then there's a ban on that player. Or if there was a fault from the referee, we communicate it to the referee as well, plus the head of referees who take the further required action for next game week. That is how it happens.
Right. That means that you guys are looking after the referees as well. That's good, man. It's something, because a lot of these leagues, um, especially in the community level, although they do get the qualified referees, they're not too bothered about. After a certain point, they're not too bothered about what the referees go through. And it's good that you guys are looking into that as well. That's very good.
Yeah, plus you have to look at it in this sense as well, that since this is a platform for people to come and compete, right? Similarly, it is a platform for different type of referees also to come and work on their whatever they have
Hmm.
learned. Because for the refereeing standard to go up in India, they have to do a lot
Yes.
of matches, right? And get that experience that is required at the top level to reach the top level. So in one way, we are also providing a platform to these referees to come and test them out. We help them with whatever decisions. If something is wrong, we do give a feedback to them. So it is an important
Yeah,
platform for the referees as well to learn and grow.
yeah, great. That sounds good. It's very good. Yeah.
Moving on ahead, Mehul. So like I'm sure like in order to achieve what you want to with respect to the baby leagues and the TAL and the other leagues of other sports which you are trying to promote right now, uh, how important is the role of a sponsor which is coming on board? And I would also like to know like how tough was it for you to like actually get sponsors on board?
Okay. So if you see in other countries, sponsorship, I would say the event sponsorship is one of the best ways for brands to reach out to their target audience. But surprisingly, in India, very less brands are currently interested in supporting the community level events, though there are some. So it's just a matter that we educate them that, hey guys, here also, there is a good opportunity for you guys to connect with the target audience that you have, right? So over the years, initially it was a little tough, but as we gained some reputation in the community, so it became better than before, I would say. uh, so it's becoming better over the years, right? Some of the kids brands, they are coming and supporting us, who are launching a new product. So they are happy to share out something and take the advertising space, reconnect with the target audience on field, uh, making their products available to the players. So initially it was tough, but now it's becoming better. We are also learning over the as we are going forward, that what the brands actually look for. So we are making the necessary improvements in our offerings as well. So now it's a learning curve for both us as well as the brands. We need to educate them, and we also need to learn to offer what they are looking for.
So, so
Just to add on again,
go on, Shankar, go on.
sorry, Shani. Yeah.
Go
Uh,
on, go on.
um, you did mention about Mehul. You did mention about educating the brands, and you also did mention about uh, do, doing what or looking out for what they want. So, do you think that these brands will have their own values if your product, which is your leagues or sport, want to play as a brand, can match the values of their brand, that would help you grow as well as them? Like, would you think that that would be of mutual benefit?
So I would say here, the brands, they what they look for is they look for connecting with their target audience and reaching out to as many people as they can. So we have different avenues such as the video highlights which we publish on social media, which players also share in their network. So in that ways we've added these offerings which uh, which make the brand reach where they want to reach. So apart from that, there are different models also that we have worked, where a brand has come to us. It was a poker company, right? And they wanted to basically tell people about them through football, right? So what you call it as experiential sports marketing, right? So we organize a corporate tournament for the poker brand, right? And we educated them that that their platform exists. Come try it out. So these are certain avenues which brands are also exploring. That through a sport they can create something of their own, an IP kind of a thing as well. So we've worked on different models where we have involved these brands as part of our competitions, and we also help them, ideating how you can reach your set of target audience through such an event, right?
Mm.
So these are the two different models that we have worked over the years. Uh,
Yeah, because like you had mentioned earlier, it's very, as much as it's very important to have this education um, spread out to the brands, it's as important as letting them know that sports is something that is for everybody and can connect all people together and make them one. And any brand, be it IT, be it any industry, if they can connect through to their audience using the medium of sport. I think
yeah.
it's a very important message to convey as well. I think for our audience, even though it's you don't have to be professional sport to connect the audience or connect the people from one end of the country to the other. People from different parts can come together, even if it's community sport. And and you and for a country like India, I feel that especially in football, we have only two leagues that are considered as top professional leagues. But going by our population and the size, there should be more of leagues like yours that come up, and it needs the support of these big brands to, like, I mean, they should step up as sponsors and help such leagues grow in our country. For if we are looking for football as a big sport, maybe as, if not as big as cricket, at least similar level. That's what
Yeah.
I feel.
Also,
So you're absolutely right. Brands also need to understand and contribute in growing the sport as well. So that point of yours is bang on. Yeah.
so just trying to understand, Mehul here, like how the brands are working and they're trying to operate in with respect to football. So like, what do you think is that the brands are looking for basically, which like they think that say football isn't able to give them probably, like, or say I'll probably say, like you went to an X brand and then brand said that this is what we want from TAL, this is what we want from the amateur league. So what is that one common thing which, like, of course, apart from like, just saying like able to reach as many people as possible and, giving them the best kind of output, but like, what's that one thing which the brands are actually actively looking for?
It's the same thing. They need, see, for any, how many people are outside, right? Be it digitally or be it in person when the match is going on. So that is the most important thing that they look for, man. I will be really honest. That is, there's nothing more important than that, because they have their own set of formulas. Say if they're spending X, then they need to reach Y. They have their ratios. If all those ratios fit, only then they come on board. Shankar, you're on
Sorry, I was
mute.
on mute. Thanks for that, Neil. Yeah, so we actually about to wrap this whole thing up. So I thought we'll just have a brief as to what we discussed and what your thoughts are about the whole football as an ecosystem in India. You can compare with other parts of the world as well if you want to. Uh,
There was a
um,
network lag, so can you please repeat?
oh yeah, so I was just saying that we're about to wrap this whole thing up. So I thought we'll just give the brief as to what we discussed, and maybe you can give your thoughts about the ecosystem of football ecosystem in India.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So we actually touched a lot of things today. We touched about how you guys started off, how that's a platform, how uh, born to play, and the amateur league acts as a platform for young players as well as other target audiences as well to to enter sport, and it's up to them if they want to take it professional or not. That's a very good step forward in community league. Then we spoke about how you you guys treat or handle referees and how to educate them and educate the teams and players. And also we spoke about the sponsors and your league formats and how sponsors play a big role in promoting community leagues. So what are your thoughts, Mehul, about the football ecosystem that India has, and what do you think we need to do as a community, as a sporting community, to get football to that next level?
So I would add two pointers here. One is, the top level, the leagues and the associations involved, they need to buck up, right? They need to interact with the community, either through us or themselves, introduce the sport in school in an organized way, right? Not just football, I would say, but they should introduce kids to different sports until the age of 10, as per me. And then the kid, after playing 4 to 5 sports over the years, they generally tend to develop a liking towards one and they can choose. So similar is the case with football. So you need to introduce them at the lowest level, right? Make them play. And one more thing is that even at a corporate level, people need to go out and start playing, because a kid will be allowed to play and he will enjoy it even more if his dad or mother plays, right?
It's
So
true.
the change has to be overall. You have to connect as many people as you can to the sport through different ways. There's the top leagues, they need to run their own campaigns, partner with academies, connect with them as much as they can, so it is a step by step process, but you need to bridge the gap that is there, build a loyal fan base, uh, make people play as much as possible. Only then the sport can grow, and you know Indian football can grow.
Great. Thanks for that. Those insights, Mehul. Thank you.
So
You want to
I'm
add anything,
just
Ishan? Yeah.
uh, I think the answer of like Mehul was like, I think it encapsulated everything pretty well. And I mean I would just like to add on like and ask like one thing, because it kind of interests me on a personal level as well. Like uh, I think like as much as even the pathway for players is a very rigid, I would say, like there's no uh, clear path for them to like go up the steps and stuff. I think it's the same as we discussed for referees and even for coaches. Like there is no smooth transition for them. Like most of the coaches don't even know like even if they get their licenses, to like where to get their licenses from, or like how to go about approaching somebody to actually let them coach their kids, or anything like that. So I think that is another aspect which we have to work upon as a footballing ecosystem in our country, I think.
Yeah. So I guess one point I want to add here is that the term for that is awareness, right? So you have to make people aware about what are the opportunities related to the sport, uh, because you might not become a player, but you can become a great coach, or you can be a part of
Right.
the support staff, or you can be a part of companies like us, or open your own venture to grow the sport.
Absolutely.
So there has to be proper awareness about what all people can do at because it is, as Ishan said, that coaching is one very important aspect. So it all has to go together,
Yeah,
and awareness.
and I
I
think
hope this session would be a great way to spread some awareness.
absolutely, absolutely. And I think on a very micro level, raising that awareness via community leagues like the TL and the other leagues for other sports as well, not only football, is so important, because you give that that you show that that the whole dream in a small way for a person which they can live, whether it's for the coaches or for the players. So they can actually go ahead and test themselves out as well on a higher level. So I think, as you said, like the awareness, I think it's the most important thing. And I think like community leagues should grow more and more in India, and they're the best way to like raise awareness, in my opinion.
Yeah, correct.
Yes, I totally have to agree with both of you there, because we actually touched upon this, not specifically to coaches, but about the community leagues and the support that community leagues need when we spoke about sponsorship. Because people actually focus, and I'm just taking it back to that point you mentioned during our chat then, Mehul, that initially, just because you guys were a startup and not a professional league, people were not a bit reluctant to invest in the process. So we need to educate them and make them aware that this is the process. You don't go to that level from there to there in one go. It's not a one step process.
Yeah.
You have to go through the grassroots. Then community leagues might be there. Then there might be academies where you can join in, and then you go. Eventually, you reach the league. But then to reach there, the community leagues and all the process, the grassroots has to have that support from these big sponsors, or reasonable sponsors. And that support and that awareness, if we create that among the community, that's the best way. I think it's a very good platform for all of us to take, not just football, like you mentioned, Ishan, any sport in our country to a different level.
Yeah, so I think it was a pleasure having you, Mehul, today, and I have to like wrap this whole session up. And I'm sure like you enjoyed the whole session too. And I'm hoping
Yeah,
that
it
people
was
who are
exciting.
watching this or like listening to this on a podcast, I hope like we guys helped you guys know more about how to join your favorite sport. Like look out for community leagues, join companies like Want to Play, like or whatever. Just contribute as much as possible from the grassroots level, because till the time you don't contribute, I don't think like the country can grow as a whole with respect to the sporting culture over here. So with that, I'll have to say goodbyes to both of you guys. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mehul. Hope you have a good day.
Yeah,
Thanks, Ishan.
thanks for joining. Thanks for
You
joining,
guys.
Mehul, all the way from Australia. Yeah.
Bye bye. See you.